Few events capture the imaginations of sports fans across the world quite like the dunk contest. A chance for players to display their creativity and athleticism unlike anything else across sports. But there was a time when this beloved showcase nearly faded into oblivion. Today we dive into the story of the canceled dunk contest, its brief replacement, and its eventual and triumphant return. Join me as I take you on a journey through a story of highs and lows, all above the rim. Part 1. Cancelled. The NBA dunk contest has always been the highlight of AllStar weekend, and throughout the 80s, stars like Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins headlined the event. But by the mid-90s, interest had begun to wane. The biggest names were no longer participating and excitement seemed to dissipate. Sound familiar? Only a few years later, one of the greatest dunk contests the league would ever witness would take place. But again, interest would wane. This article from 2012 calls out questions of whether the NBA had outgrown the dunk contest. The criticism is very similar to the problems described in these articles from 1997. Again, fans were just years away from the greatest dunks they'd ever see. And now, in 2024, we see questions brought up and stories ran asking the same things we saw back in 2012 in the late 90s. Does the dunk contest belong in the modern NBA? Is the dunk contest just too stale? Is the dunk contest beyond saving? History would say we're just years away from a generational dunk contest, and some of the best of what's yet to come from the NBA might be just around the corner. But hindsight is 2020, and back in the late 90s when these problems were being brought up for the first time, the league reacted in a way that seems drastic to put it lightly. In 1998, for the first time since its inception in 1984, the NBA decided to cancel the dunk contest. Criticism around the contest, and arguably the worst dunk contest of all time just a year prior, led to a year of all-star events without the fan favorite. Critics said all the good dunks had already been done, and lamented the lack of participation from the league's best players. The NBA, wary of an event gone stale, had decided to do away with it. I think it was getting to be monotonous, and maybe it's good to do something different, Charles Barkley said. It was the same dunk over and over. There's really nothing you could do. I think some dunkers were really good, but nobody got excited about it because they had seen it before. Part 2. The 1999 All-Star Game. In an attempt to revitalize All-Star Saturday Night, the NBA introduced the two-ball contest in 1998. This new competition paired one NBA player with one WNBA player from the same city, competing in a timed shooting contest from various spots on the court. While the two-ball contest showcased the talents of both NBA and WNBA players, it failed to capture the excitement and raw appeal of the dunk contest, as you can see in this clip. Fans and players alike missed the high-flying dunks and the adrenaline-pumping showdowns that have become synonymous with All-Star Weekend. Part 3. The Return.
Welcome back, Oakland, California. Marv Albert, Danny Ainge with the Czar, Mike Fratello. A sensational field coming up in the slam dunk.
Recognizing the fans' longing for the dunk contest, the NBA brought it back in 2000 with a bang. The contest returned to its roots, emphasizing creativity, athleticism, and star power. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Steve Francis headlined the event, bringing back the excitement it had been missing. Vince Carter's entrance into the contest was highly anticipated, who is already known for his remarkable leaping ability and in-game dunks. However, what transpired that evening exceeded even the loftiest expectations. Carter's arsenal of dunks was not just a display of his physical prowess, but a testament to his understanding of the moment's gravity and his desire to leave an undeniable mark on the contest's storied history. Carter's first dunk, a 360 windmill, was a declaration of his intent. The dunk combined power, finesse, and a high degree of difficulty, setting the tone for what was to come. The crowd erupted, and the judges awarded him a perfect score. However, Carter was not done, and a move that left spectators and fellow competitors in awe. Approaching the basket, Carter soared, elbow deep into the rim, hanging on the rim, as if to emphasize the dunk's sheer impossibility. This feat, later known as the elbow dunk, was so unprecedented that it left the commentators and crowd struggling for words. The contest also featured strong performances from the other competitors. Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets and Tracy McGrady, Carter's teammate on the Raptors, both executed impressive dunks. However, the night belonged to Vince Carter. His final score was reflective not just of his athletic superiority, but of the undeniable impression he had left on the contest and the wider basketball community. In the aftermath of the 2000 dunk contest, Carter's victory was seen as a revival of the event. His performance reinvigorated interest in the contest, setting a new benchmark for creativity and athleticism that future participants would aspire to. Part 4. The conclusion. The NBA seems to go through a cycle of fans hating on the dunk contest, questioning whether it still belongs in All-Star Weekend, and then some undeniable talent coming along and saving it. Criticism led the NBA to canceling its most popular All-Star Weekend event, and in historic fashion in 2000 when they brought it back, Vince Carter showed why it's here to stay, arguably forever. And I'll say it again. History would say we're just years away from a generational dunk contest, and some of the best of what's to come from the NBA and its bright young stars may be just around the corner.